Welcome to Disruptive Successor, a show for next generation leaders in family businesses and entrepreneurs who want to disrupt the status quo and take their existing business to a whole new level. We all know that what got us here isn't going to get us there. This show will provide inspiration, advice, and resources to help you create massive impact. This podcast is sponsored by myself, Jonathan Goldhill, and my company, the Goldhill Group, where we provide coaching for growing companies. I'm Jonathan Goldhill, and my purpose is simple: to guide entrepreneurial leaders in family businesses towards more freedom and fulfillment. I want entrepreneurs to get clarity around the changes that will make them and their businesses more successful so they can experience the same freedom I've enjoyed in my life. Our proven practices challenge business owners to think differently about their business and how they're running it, and quite literally become game changers in our clients' companies. Learn more at thegoldhillgroup.com website, where you can schedule your free strategy session.
It is really hard. Some folks try to time the market.
Yes.
And that's difficult too. You know, do I sell at a peak? Do I try to avoid the trough? There's maybe a seasonality to your business, or you're in a certain industry like oil and gas, and that rides different waves. Right now, oil and gas is pretty hot.
If we go back to that aspect of that you mentioned, and certainly I always do, which is we don't just list these things in isolation or listen to the loudest voice. We actually need to. The first piece I always do with people is what we call a life mapping exercise. And it actually gives me these touch points to come back as evidence. So when someone starts saying something's their core value, I can say, that's interesting. I didn't see any demonstration of that. And talk to me about where that has showed up in your life, or give me some examples. Or I can say, I see that pattern really strongly in what you've described there. Like those things are very clearly driving how you behave and the decisions you make. So I think if you tease out the stories and the examples well from the broader group, then you can address that aspect of not just having the loudest person pushing their own personal agenda or values onto the group, but you can have richer conversations that also bring everyone on board.
I work with NFL athletes and Olympic athletes. That's who I work with. I work with them as they come out of their careers. And here's what I found about Olympic athletes and NFL athletes in particular. They're the most lack-based individuals I've ever worked with in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Olympic athletes?
Olympic athletes, the most lack-based people I've ever dealt with.
Why?
Because they're so entrenched that there's only one opportunity to win. They believe that there is only one winner, and if you don't win, then you're a loser. And that's just wrong.
Right.
Like, I believe that athletics was created in lack. I love athletics, by the way. I'm a huge sports fan. I watch sports all the time. But I believe that, like, this idea that there's only one winner and everyone else is a loser, that is a lack-based mentality.
It's not an easy thing when there's a very well-established community, especially, you acknowledge that I was the only woman in the room for a period of time.
Wow.
Over time that changed, but I was the only woman in the room for a while. But I had been used to that. I had been in manufacturing. I had been in technology.
Yeah.
So that never really was weighed on me. Socially, I was always, I'll go to the bar, I'll play golf, whatever. It never held me back. But it certainly was good to get more diversity in the room over time.
I think it's great. And I think it's important. And, in some states, and you can speak to this probably better than I, but they're legislating more women in the boardroom and as officers. And I'm not so keen on the idea of legislating it. I'd rather it just happen because of an enlightened self-interest, a greater, a heightened state of consciousness, awareness that we need balance, we need diversity.
Well, from a business point of view, which is, as I mentioned earlier, I think the best definition I could find is like, what does winning mean? I mean, that is success, because then you're defining the meaning of success. What are the metrics? What does it look like? And because it's different people. I mean, I just left a very large and successful nonprofit in Las Vegas dealing with battered women and what they're doing to support these women, but also the men who are the perpetrators, and what are they, how can they be healed and from whatever is causing this. Fabulous. I mean, just a really inspiring experience. So their definition of winning is different, as opposed to maybe a startup tech company that wants to get an app out there, and have that thing go viral. And that may be different than working with a hospital system or an insurance company or manufacturing, So everybody, I think, has to come to terms with what does winning mean, because that starts everything. Then it starts, okay, how do we do strategy differently? Because most strategic plans fail because they're really tactics. Most strategic plans fail because they're tactics. So how did you get the tactics? Well, we were analyzing this, the SWOT analysis, that, and I was like, strategy is not about analysis.
Some of the ways he teases out and gives examples around, like one of the components where often people will list things very quickly as these are my core values. And I use his question around, I say, okay, so really quickly off the top of your head, give me 3 examples of where you have a tendency to take that too far. So if someone says innovation is a core value, but everything that they do is conservative, risk averse, you go, I'm hearing no examples of you being extremely innovative and pushing the envelope on that. Let's talk about that. Is that really a core value, or is that aspirational? So Patrick Lencioni's work, I think, is a really helpful lens to take, and his sort of different categories of values is useful. For me in my life and when I work with people, I am very clear on the core values of my family growing up. Then Brad, my husband, and I, we have our core values for our family, and I'm clear on my personal core values. It can, like you said, it can feel like it's a lot of things. When you then add in a business, what does that look like? But there's overlap between them.
They don't have great strategies, and it's difficult to even have a strategic conversation. So I just wonder if you think that there's a certain size to a company or a certain trajectory that strategy really matters. And for a lot of the rest of them, it's just like, okay, you don't have a strategy, no big deal. You can still have a profitable business, but you're going to be good, not great.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends, because you can have a small 5-person company. Let's say we just do real estate. So, get a house, put it on the list, sell a house, make money. And then we've been doing that for 50 years. Fine, but you don't really need strategy. Just show up, unless there's a disruptive force.
Right.
In which case, good luck with handling that. But I think when you're looking at growth, then that business needs strategy, because you need, like, what does that mean? What does winning mean? How do we grow it? That's because really strategy is about, it's about the death of what was before to create what's next.
Success is the progression towards a dream. Something bigger than me. It's something that I don't know how to do, and I can't logic my way to doing it. But it's like, I really want that thing, whatever, or that vision. It's just something that is huge, and it will push it. It should pull me out of my chair every day to say, I'm excited to go after that. And progression towards it is success.
So that's a nuanced kind of a distinction here. It's almost like, Jim Collins's BHAG. What is your 10 to 30 year goal? Which some people have as a numeric, $100 million or, 10 million people influenced or whatever. That's an outcome still.
So success is not the outcome of the BHAG.
It's
success is the progression towards the BHAG.
Gotcha. So that's where the emphasis is on the different word in the statement. It's
progression.
Got it.
Yeah. So then failure,
moving up that ladder.
Yes, moving. The journey. Success is the journey towards the BHAG. We get so locked in that once I get the BHAG, then I'll be successful. It's like, no, dude, just progress towards it. Do something every day towards it.